Get ready. A major severe weather outbreak is imminent. I'm here in the Cat 5 Center, which just got a huge renovation. We've got a banger forecast for you today. We're talking strong winds, large hail, and a couple of tornadoes are likely today, tomorrow, and even Saturday. And also, we've got a huge update on the tropics. Big time storms coming down the pipeline. We're gonna have all that and more in today's jam-packed forecast that starts right now. Wow, look how big my TV is. Hey, what's up, guys? Meteorologist Stormcat 5 here with another forecast on your Thursday, August 7th. I can't believe it's already August 7th. We are flying through the summer, but we've got a lot to talk about today. Let's start here with the visible satellite. Let me show you what we got cooking here. This is the leftovers of a storm system that we had yesterday. That is an MCS that's starting to push to the south through Iowa, giving some very strong winds to the area. Also, we got a little bit of a spin off the east coast here. That's a tropical system we're watching. It's not tropical just yet, but it's got about a 30% chance we'll cover that way later in the video. And then here's going to be our focal point. Today in the Dakotas, we've got severe weather expected. There already are storms forming. We're going to have to watch those very carefully as we go throughout the afternoon. And then our southwest brethren are dealing with a record heat wave that is absolutely baking them. Oh, stay cool, southwest brethren. All right, let's start with the severe weather today because this is by far the biggest story, at least in the short term. We have got a enhanced risk up here. That is a 3 out of 5 risk. Wow. What a terrible 5. There we go. That's better. And that is centered in North Dakota, so our North Dakota and also South Dakota from Bismarck all the way down to Pierre. You guys are expected to get some severe weather today. Now let's take a look at the tornado risk. It's a 5%, so this is a wind-driven risk. That is why we have that enhanced risk, but tornadoes are still possible, especially in North Dakota today. But this is the reason why we got that enhanced risk. Big-time wind gust today of 60, 70, 80 miles an hour. Even potentially a derecho risk exists for those storms today. Now, if we take a look at how things will evolve across the country today, our weather is going to be pretty calm for most of the country. We could get some showers and storms. Here's the couple of trouble spots today. Florida, big time summer storms, and along the Gulf Coast all the way to New Orleans. Also, some rain from that system here right off the East Coast. That's that system we're watching for that tropical chance. That's going to stay well offshore, though. But the big problem area by far is going to be up here in Montana and the Dakotas. That is trouble spot number 3, and that is where our severe weather is expected today. Let's just zoom in on Florida and give you a decent idea. Showers and storms, these are your average showers and storms that pop up. Because the upper level flow is going to be directing them this way, the storms will start on the East Coast during the morning and afternoon hours, and then they'll push to the West Coast during the evening hours and overnight hours. So heads up our Florida brother in there. Now, if we go to the Dakotas, this is where the main event for severe weather is going to be today. Let's go 5, 6, 7 p.m. Storms could be ongoing up here. They already are kind of firing up there, but the big storms aren't going to form until around 5, 6, 7 p.m. right there. Look at that. One line of storms pushes through. This is when we could have a couple of tornadoes, large hail, and strong winds, though. And watch as we go throughout the evening. This is 6, 7, 9 p.m. now. We've got a couple of rounds that are going to be pushing through North Dakota, and that is where we are going to get these most significant weather. And that's when places like Bismarck and Dickinson could be getting slammed with big-time storms. These complexes are going to continue to march their way off to the east. There could be a couple of rounds here, and this is what we mean by when I said possible derecho. Could get long-lived wind event here, continuing all the way into Fargo, and then eventually going into the early morning hours. These storms could last even into Minnesota. So heads up, our Minnesota brethren, you're likely to wake up tomorrow morning, Friday, with big-time thunder and maybe some wind. All right, well, let's go to tomorrow because this is your severe weather risk for tomorrow. Once again, we've got a 3 out of 5 risk to get some strong storms a little bit further to the east, this time in the eastern portion of the Dakotas, but also Minnesota. And right now, the main threat is actually wind, which is this risk right here, about a 15%, and then hail as well. Big time hail could be a problem here. On Friday, the tornado risk, at least for the moment, is only at a 2% risk. Now, I could see them upgrading this to a 5% based upon if any boundaries set up tomorrow. Right now, it's just a 2. In terms of how things will play out and time out on Friday, let's take a look. Friday morning should start off in Minnesota with some storms moving through. Those will be the leftover of the storms today. The rest of the country during the day Friday is going to be pretty quiet, downright beautiful, unless you live over here in New Mexico or along the East Coast and in Florida. Those are going to be your trouble spots for rain and storms on Friday. And then this, by far, though, will be the big spot for showers and storms Friday. Let's take a look. Let's zoom in. Let me show you how this is going to time out. So this is Friday about 5, 6, 7 p.m. We got storms starting to move through, starting to form. This is right around sunset right there. We could have some more storms that form. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? They don't look as bad as the storms today, but I still do think large hail, strong winds, and tornadoes are going to be possible, especially in the evening hours and eastern portions of the Dakota and Minnesota. State Triple R is right. Our Wisconsin brethren also need to be on alert. Sometimes you can get these rogue MCSs that push out ahead of your front, and that's exactly what's happening here. So if you're in Wisconsin, just heads up, could get some storms during the evening hours, going to the overnight hours on Friday. Gosh, I hope Oshkosh Bagosh doesn't get hit. Now, looking ahead to Saturday, that trough that we were tracking will continue sliding off to the east, and that's why we've got this slight risk in Wisconsin on Saturday. So heads up, our Wisconsin brethren could get storms Friday, could get storms Saturday, even all the way back. There'll be a cold front draped here all the way back into Kansas. We could get some storms, but the specific details and how bad this risk is going to be still needs to be ironed out. All right, we talked about the severe weather, but we've got to talk about the tropics because they're heating up in a major way. All right, we got to start here by taking a look at the National Hurricane Center graphic. This is the tropical systems we are expecting for the next 7 days. We got one up here. This was Tropical Storm Dexter, but that now has weakened significantly, and it's also moving to the northeast away from the U.S. We've got a secondary system here. This one is not tropical just yet. It's trying to form, but it's only got a 30% chance, and it's following a similar path to Dexter as well. Now, this third system, this is the one we got to watch very closely. This one has been designated 96L, and it's a tropical wave that's come off Africa. And this is the one we got to watch very closely because some of the models have this coming dangerously close to the U.S. Now, if we look at the entire Atlantic Ocean right here, you can see those three waves in action here. Here is Dexter, and it is falling apart fast, getting sheared quickly, weakening quickly, pretty much dead. Here's this system number 2 that we're watching. Nothing impressive just yet. Very strong wind shear here in the northeast that's most likely going to rip this thing apart. But this is tropical wave number 3. Look at this, coming off of the African coast. It is meandering to the north and east here. Hasn't really got its act together just yet, but we got to watch that thing very closely. And then finally, we've got this tropical wave that's coming off of Africa right now. I'm circling, it's right on my face, but this one could end up being the most significant out of all of them. Now, this is not going to be a problem, at least for the next 7 days, but post 7 days, some models have this thing developing and staying very far south. Now, the further south this storm does stay, the better chance it has to impact the United States. If it goes further north, it's likely to what's called recurve back out in the Atlantic and not be a problem for us at all. Now, this model right here that we're looking at is actually the European ensemble, and it plots out the tropical system lows. So those are these L's right in here. Anywhere you see a clustering of L's, that is a potential tropical system, tropical storm, hurricane that could form. So watch as we step through here the next couple of days. This is that first system that we talked about, potential, that's got about a 60% chance to develop, but notice how it stays well far to the north, and it keeps going north and east, which is good news, which means most likely this first system, if it does form, should recurve and follow a similar path to Dexter. Now, this is your secondary tropical wave that I circled just a second ago, and that one could be much bigger of an issue. Watch as we go throughout Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week. Look at how far south they have this thing going. And look at how many of the members have this thing developing into a closed circulation low. Anytime you get that in the Atlantic during hurricane season, that's a problem. So going Friday, Saturday, Sunday of next week, that's where the models start to diverge. Some have it going north, some have it staying south. I think both options are on the table at this point, but the reason why I'm showing you this is the tropics, guys. I promise you, we're going to start seeing multiple threats to the U.S. as we go towards the middle and latter half of August. Oh no, not good. And guys, I gotta show you this because it's just crazy. This was the GFS 18Z yesterday. Look, it has 2 2 Category 3 plus hurricanes, one in the Gulf and one in the Atlantic at the same time. This is not gonna happen. This is not a forecast, and this model is absolutely insane. But I just wanted to show you this because it's wildly entertaining, and it does show the potential is there. The pattern is starting to get right as we head towards the peak of hurricane season. So heads up, our Gulf Coast and Atlantic brethren. Just start paying attention right now. One more thing for our Gulf Coast brethren. Check this out, guys. This is the precipitable water. So the higher the values, the more water in the air, the more rain that's going to fall, the heavier rain that's going to fall. As we go into the weekend, we are talking about values absolutely off the charts for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for the entire peninsula, entire state of Florida. So heads up, flooding is going to be a big time concern. A lot of rain is going to fall this weekend for our Florida and Gulf Coast brethren. Oh my goodness, our Southwest brethren continue to set records and absolutely bake out here from Arizona through New Mexico, through California. So stay cool, our Southwest brethren, because you guys are getting absolutely hammered by this heat. And unfortunately, I'm looking through the weekend and I don't see any relief in sight. Oh, I'm so sorry. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. I think I'm gonna go get my coffee and drink it. Grab it. What the? Tell me what you think about this Cat 5 command center in the comments below. I'll be live later on Readstream, and I'll also try to go live later tonight on our YouTube channel. Thanks for joining me today. Find someone, tell them you love them, tell them you care about them. Have a wonderful day. Storm Cat 5, and I'll see you on the next one.